So today we're going to continue with removing parts from the 79 TR7 drop head coupe that I'm getting ready to scrap out. So today we're going to pull the gas tank off. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So we're going to start. I've already taken off the plate that's here. This is the trunk of the car. These are the fuel filler line. This is the filter for the gas vapor evacuation system. So we need to get some of this stuff disconnected so we'll be able to drop the tank out after, because some of these lines are already disconnected. There's two lines here. There's one of them down here already. Get this line off, and that's, I don't know if you can see it there. There's a clamp up there. Got to get that out. So I'm going to start by doing that. So these are not the easiest things to get at. This filter, it's got this weird kind of a pushing clamp. This one must have been in and out because it came easy. You usually got to work the hell out of these and hoping not to break them because they are 40-year-old plastic. And then the line's just pushed onto the bottom. So that's done. And then this just has like a radiator hose clamp on it. This is the big line from the fuel tank. This also actually has a steel gooseneck on the inside of it that we're going to have to get out of there. So get that loosened and down. And then over here, you can tell I was using this trunk lid as a workbench for years. There's a million little pieces laying around on it. So this is the fuel cap. That comes off. This one's actually a locking one, but I don't have a key for it. Came with one of the cars. And if you look, there should be three, look like Phillips heads, but they're actually posi locks, which is a slightly different kind of screwdriver. So that just pushed down out of that hole into here. There's a big tear in this rubber line already. So I'm not really too worried about being too gentle with it. Oh, well that's different. That's a short one. The last couple I've pulled out have had long necks on them. They have anti-siphoning devices in them. So also, if you look, this has the reducer in it right there. That's to make sure you only use unleaded. Has a little flap on it. But I'm surprised by that. Well, I guess you live and you learn. Anyway, so that's got those bits out. I'm not really sure if it's worth saving this. This thing is rusty as all get out. Well, we'll leave it there for now. So I think what we'll do is pick this thing up. These straps have surprisingly large bolts on them. Look like they're 11/16. One of them. And notice we got a jack stand under this because otherwise this tank will just fall out of here when we take the straps off. And there's two more. I don't know how well you can see this. There's two more at the back here. There we go. Now it's either, I have a piece of rubber right here. so that they don't have steel against steel on something that's bound to move and vibrate a little bit as you go along. Looks like that one's been out of there before, because the other three have nylocks in them, and this one was just a straight nut. I'm going to disconnect the fuel line here. In those instances, it would have been smarter to get a small socket on that rather than using a screwdriver, but I guess I had a screwdriver in hand, so that's what I used. So that's the fuel line disconnected. At an earlier time, I removed the wires. So hopefully this should just lower out of here now. So let's see. That looks like it's gonna. Yeah. Feels like it's free of the car. Hopefully we've got all the various fuel lines and wires disconnected. And I tell you, this super tall jack is really handy. I mean, it'll hold 500 or more pounds. You can use it like a jack stand, but I never have. Well, I suppose I take that back. Every now and then I'll get a car up in the air, and one of the pads will be somewhere where I don't feel like it's sitting quite right, and rather than lowering the whole car down, it's pretty easy just to slide this next to the pad and pick the car up half an inch and reset the pad. And it's great for holding up exhaust pipes and axles when you're doing shocks, all kinds of things. It's a great second pair of hands for those of us who work by ourselves so much. Well, you can see the gas line. This is the upper clamp I undid. Here's the lower one, and this thing's kind of in the way, so I'm just going to get a little socket and undo that other clamp, see if I can't get that out of there. So to get enough room to drop the tank out, I need to be able to swing this axle out of the way. So I'm disconnecting these upper links to the rear end, and because the drive shaft's already off, and that should let this axle swing down, and then we should be able to pull the gas tank out. So we just got to take these bolts out. You'll notice again I've got the axle supported. Should lower away now. Too much further to go. Because the springs are not physically attached to the car by anything other than sitting in those retaining cups, so they're going to fall off as the axle. I guess the bottom edge of the tank is tapered, so that's why it comes a little ways and then stops. There we go. One gas tank removed. Crappy as this car is, look how clean that is up there. I think it's not even any undercoating on it. It's just that black primer that British Leyland used. So, there's the gas lines, by the way. That's the feed line. This must be the vapor line coming back. These were the bolts. Two more at that side that held the straps up. And that's it. I'm going to slide the bolts back in, or pick the rear end back up and slide the bolts back in so the axle's stationary in case I got to move the car. But that should do it for today, so don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next episode of Stripping Bits Off the TR7. Bye.